Okay, in today's video, what I want to talk about is this controversial piece of evidence here, the alleged MH370 UAP videos. Now, in particular, well, this is the first video that was released, uh, which is called the satellite video. And it's believed to be from a satellite because the clouds in the video don't move too much, so everyone has the impression it's a satellite video. And this was released in or published by Regicide Annan in May of 2014, and he it was published under the on his name under his name on YouTube on his user account, and this was it came out May 2014, and I remember seeing the video when it came out, and I thought it was a daytime video, and I was not aware of the coordinates. And I remember seeing, the plane going through the porthole and thinking, "Gee, what a neat CGI video this is," because I did not believe it was real to begin with. But it looked pretty good. But at the time, in 2014 when this came out, it seemed so unbelievable to think that you know this this plane would be related to MH370. It looked like a daytime video. No one was aware of the coordinates, and at this time we were all busy looking at debris pictures and Inmarsat data. So this was really just a sideshow, and no one took it seriously at the time. And so that was my initial impression of this video. It was just some sort of hoax, some sort of CGI hoax. And it also came accompanied with this FLIR video, as you can see here, this video here, which came out about a month later, and it seemed to be showing the same event that was shown in this video, in these videos, showing an airplane being surrounded by orbs, flying off towards into the distance. And so it started to it was very intriguing at the time, but again in 2014, I just thought this is just some guy having fun with CGI. I didn't make any uh, connection between these videos and what happened to MH370 back in 2014, and I don't think anyone back then did. However, this year, um, I started to talk to a fellow named Ashton Forbes, and Ashton was very much an advocate for these videos. He believed that they were real, and it was him who pointed out to me the coordinates, which are down here in the video, which seem to indicate that this plane was flying in the Andaman Sea. So I found that interesting because I knew of only one plane prior to this video existing of a passenger plane flying in that area of the Andaman Sea, and that was MH370. So that revelation started to pique my curiosity and to said, could this be a video of MH370 or the plane that was transmitting the Inmarsat data that was flying out to the Andaman Sea that in March of 2014, heading out to the southern Indian Ocean? Could this be that plane? And so I started to consider this possibility. And another thing that Ashton mentioned to me was that this was what they call pseudo color IR image, false color IR. So it really is a nighttime image that is, uh, it looks to be like a daytime image because it's really a false color IR image. And I started to do some research on this, and I found yes, that this definitely exists. This type of imaging exists. I knew about it before, but So it started to make it seem more feasible that maybe there's something to this video that is that we should have a second look at. So I started to theorize that if this is the plane, if this is related to MH370, and this is the plane that is transmitting the Inmarsat data on the night that MH370 went missing, then if it's turning at those coordinates, it would be turning on March 7th at around 1840 UTC at those coordinates. And this we can tell, we know by the Inmarsat data, the timing of that data, that that's when the plane would have been turning sometime in the somewhere in the Andaman Sea towards the southern Indian Ocean. So I started to investigate this possibility, and I started to write a couple of blogs on this idea. And at first, we only had the coordinates, and we had the Inmarsat data to go by. So how could we prove this? And so we started to look at satellites, various satellites that were in the area, and some people speculated that it was a USA 229 that took the this video, but I have serious reservations about that. But I'm not going to get into that, discussing that. But what what started to intrigue me about this video was the possibility that it could be real, and it could be related to MH370. And if it is, then it would be telling us two important things. One important thing is it would tell us where the plane actually made its turn in the Andaman Sea on the night that it went missing. But also, more importantly, it would tell us that the CIA and U.S. Department of Defense, who were obviously the ones filming this, probably know something a lot more about what happened to that plane than they have previously stated publicly, especially if they're making a video of the plane that's transmitting this data and they have a video of it. Obviously, they must know something a bit more about this plane. So I started to find that very intriguing. And when I went through all the satellite that we looked at, I really could not find the ideal match. And there was always problems with the fact that if it's a geostationary satellite taking the image, how does it get such great resolution? So this was a bit of a dilemma to think about. Anyways, uh, here's a poll I did on this video, and you find that you have about 36% of the people believe it's all real, 33% believe it's complete fake, CGI, and there's 30% people like myself who believe it's a combination of a real video with CGI added. So that tends to be the three category of opinions that come are that people have on this video. So now, if you look at what I want to talk about first now is the FLIR video, and I want to show you what I believe, why I believe this video is real. Now, the first piece of evidence I want to show you is this video here, which shows highlights the surface underneath the what we believe is the wing of the drone, or the possibly the camera case of the drone. But what it seems to show in this video is a right here. It seems to show kind of like an air barrier, a warmer air barrier than um, the ambient air, which indicates that that's heat coming off the this surface of the drone. There's some heat coming off the drone, and what is interesting is as the drone is passing by through the contrails, it starts to this piece here is vibrating with the drone, and it seems to be this air barrier that is also vibrating with it. Now, if this was CGI, I'm very impressed because it means that the CGI video effects guy went to this level of detail in order to create the perfect video effect. Uh, now, the reason I find this compelling is because uh, first off, this barrier seems to be multispectral in color. If you look at it, it's not all one color. Now, some people say, well, this is a result of filtering in the video. They can do this with filtering. Well, maybe so, and maybe that's a blending of colors, and it creates this effect. But when I looked at a CGI model that was created by someone else on Reddit, you can see in his model there's none of that, none of this um, what looks like an air barrier to me, a warm air barrier surrounding the drone. You don't see that in the CGI fake here. So it tells me this gives it a more, in my opinion, a more realistic possibility that the video is real than CGI, in my opinion. I don't think that a video effects artist would have gone to that level of detail, although some will argue, yeah, sure, you could have. Well, maybe, but it seems highly unlikely to me. Now, another thing I found about this video that was compelling is I started to study the clouds in the video, in particular this group of clouds here. And I took a screenshot and I compared that with this satellite image that was taken on March 7th, 2014 at these coordinates in the video. And they were showing the clouds that were in that area at that time. And so I took a closer look at this and I did a comparison between the clouds in the UAP video and the clouds in the satellite image. And I found 15 points of similarities between the two cloud patterns. Now, yes, the images look a little different because you have to keep in mind they're taken, this one has a very poor resolution of only 750 meters by 750 meters. So it doesn't give you a clear image of the clouds, but good enough to see the general geometric shapes of them. And so if you consider this this aspect, plus the camera angles are taken at slightly different angles, you're not going to get a perfect geometric match between the two images, but there are enough similarities between this cloud pattern here and this cloud pattern here for me to say, I think these are the same clouds that we're looking at. And if they're the same clouds, then the video is real. It means the video was filmed on March 7th, 2014 at these coordinates in the Andaman Sea. And it would have been the image was taken at 1854 UTC. So sometime just before 1854 UTC, this video was filmed based on this analysis of the clouds. Now, we get to this part here of the video, which, in my opinion, shows evidence of video editing. Now, I'm going to play it for you, and we'll review it right after. Okay, now I'm going to play another video of this, and this is a slow-mo video I did, and I just want to show you this again. The porthole is fake, and the plane was masked out of the video to create the illusion it vanished. I removed the porthole in this video in order to show what the original video may appear to look like without the video effects porthole in it. and where masking was done in the video. I believe the orbs are real. Okay. So what I believe, this video is real. And someone decided to put a fake porthole in this video and to make it appear that the plane vanished. And so what you're seeing here, I believe, is evidence of video masking. This is not CGI. If this was CGI, you would not see masking at this point in the video. There should be no evidence of masking. There's no reason that a CGI guy would have left the plane in the video and then have to mask it out later after he did the 3D modeling and then did the After Effects, 2D After Effects and Adobe After Effects. Why would he have left the plane in the animation? Makes no sense. So from a CGI perspective, this should not be in the video. The fact that it's in the video and you can see it move from the left to the right in the video in a few frames, it's only about maybe 2 seconds of video, if that, where you see this mask. But that to me is clear evidence of video editing, and this is not CGI, which indicates to me two things important. One, the video is real, but two, that porthole is fake. And if anyone continues to believe the porthole is real, I think they really need to sit down and study that. Look at this. Now, what I did in this video is I enhanced the contrast, saturation, color temperature in order to see that mask more clearly. And so these are the settings I did in the video in order to do that. And I just slowed down the speed of the video to 0.1 x speed so that you can see it more clearly. But it's really about 2 seconds of video in time. So it's not that many video frames they would have had to mask in order to remove the plane from the actual video. It was only be maybe 20, 30 frames that they would have to edit in this particular video. Now, so this is the porthole, video effects porthole that was added to this video. And here's another shot of it. Now, some people say, no, it's not a perfect match. All the pixels don't match. You know, take a look at this video. Let me put this up. This is from the video Eastbound and Down. This was a TV show in 2009. And I just want to show you this segment here. There you go. You see it? Let me play that one more time. I'm going to keep playing this until you get it. There you go. It's the same bloody porthole that is in this video here. Same damn thing. No question. No question it's a match. Same thing. The porthole in this video is fake. And this is evidence of video editing. What they did is they added the porthole at the time that the orbs vanished in the video. And after they have added the porthole, they had to mask out the plane out of the frames in order to remove it, in order to create the illusion that the plane vanished through a porthole. But that's what they're doing. They're editing an actual video and adding a fake porthole to it. So, now, what I want to show you is this AI slow-mo video. I'll bring it up here in a sec. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to play this. Here, let me see if I can get this up full screen. Okay, so I want to play this AI slow-mo video for you. And I want you to watch the orbs. You see them, they'll start to converge on the plane, and then they all of a sudden they vanish, and the plane starts to distort as the porthole comes into frame. So what's happening, if we go back here, let's see if I can speed this up. There we go. Okay, just right before the porthole. Right before the porthole, right here, the orbs, what they look to happen to me is they tend to just simply vanish into thin air. Now the plane starts to distort in shape here, but what's happening is the opacity of the shock wave starts to become increased, and that starts to create this black um, halo around the plane as this comes into frame. So it blackens out the plane, and then as you continue on, the plane this comes into frame, and then after this is out of frame, right here, they start the masking. Now you don't see it too clearly in this video, but you can see it. Let me go back here. You can see it more clearly in the video that I did, where it shows the mask after the portal. So now I'll go back here. So this is a couple of screen captures, but you can see right just before the porthole comes into frame, all we see is the plane. The orbs have vanished at this point. And so all we see is the plane, and there's this black halo, which is actually the shock wave coming into frame, and the opacity of the shock wave is being increased. And that's why in the next frame it becomes darker, and you can see the outline of the shock wave. So this is just video effects that was added into the video, and then after the porthole, they simply masked out the plane, so it looks like it disappeared. So now um, this to me is very clear that the porthole in this video is fake, but the video itself is real, and that's what I want to point out here in this video. The only thing I believe is fake in that video is the porthole. Everything else in that video is real. The plane is real. The orbs are real. The clouds are real. That's a real drone, and and this video really was filmed on March 7th, 2014, in the Andaman Sea at around 1854 UTC. And so I'm thoroughly convinced that the video is real, but it was edited with CGI. And that's my opinion. I do not believe that the plane at any time was on fire, this plane. I believe that what you're seeing here are just uh, the red here is the engine exhaust from both the left and right engines, and the engines hang slightly below the fuselage. So it's very consistent that this is just the engine exhaust. And what we're seeing is also in the satellite videos, what we're seeing contrails, not smoke trails. So I do not believe that that plane was on fire at all. And I believe that the video was taken with either an MQ-1C Gray Eagle Predator or possibly an MQ-1-9 Predator drone. I think I have a picture of that too. This is an MQ-1C. And here's a 3D CAD model. Now, all the debunkers put up this CAD model and say, hey, look, this CAD model matches the model, the drone in the video. So the drone in the video must be a 3D CAD model. Nonsense. What it proves is the guy who created this 3D CAD model did a pretty good CAD model, and it matches the actual drone very well. But it does not debunk the video at all. And this is another thing is we get a lot of people on these videos claiming, oh, well, I did it. All these sock puppet accounts that pop up and say, yeah, I'm the guy who created the video. But not one of them has shown any proof that they actually did it. They have not shown the actual raw files that they used to create the animation. They could have easily, if I had done it, I would have created a little video like this and showed you all the files, how I created it. I would have made the files publicly available so anyone in the world could download them, and I could show you how I created the animation and get the $150,000. But no one did this, you know. So I hear a lot. I see a lot of people saying I did it, and they have a good story, and they got the all this. They got the images from here and the model from here, but it's just supposition. Until someone actually shows me proof, I'm going to believe that these videos are real and were edited with CGI. Now, why they exist, I'll talk about that later. But for now, I just wanted to give this impression of the drone FLIR video. I am firmly of the belief that the video is real, and that the only thing that is um, fake in this video is the porthole. But everything else in that video, I believe, is real. Okay, so now this brings us to this video here, the satellite video. Now, it's believed to be a satellite video because the clouds in this video don't seem to move, and there's not much motion in the clouds. So it gives the impression that this video was taken from a geostationary satellite. But the problem with that is, how does the geostationary satellite get this kind of resolution? So that's always been a bit of a problem for me in this video is if it's taken from a satellite, how does a geostationary satellite, get this kind of resolution? Because this resolution is more consistent with a drone video, I would say, than with a satellite video taken from geostationary orbit. So that has always been a mystery to me in this video, but it's become clear to me what they did. And so I'm going to try to explain it to you and give you my impression of this video. So let's just roll it again here and watch it. And we can see the plane turning. And as it's banking left, it appears to be descending in altitude. And we can see that from the FLIR video. And then all of a sudden, these orbs show up and they start encircling the plane. And in my opinion, if we stop the video right here, I stop it here. There you go. You can almost see a blue stripe on the bottom side of the plane, what looks to be a blue stripe or a darker color surface than the top of the plane. So there seems to be some color there. But anyways, the orbs encircle the plane. And what I think they're doing is they're simply just scanning the plane. They're just curious about the plane and they're scanning it. And then once they're finished observing the plane, they simply just vanish and the plane actually continues flying south. Now, in this video, it shows it going through a porthole. And then it just pans over and there's nothing else to see here. So, my impression of this video is that the orbs are non-human intelligent orbs. They're being controlled by aliens or someone else higher intelligence. And I think they were just curious to find out why this plane was flying in the Andaman Sea that night. And they went out there to scan the plane, observe it, see if it posed any threat to them. And once they did their analysis and scanning, they simply just vanished and left the plane alone, like they have done in previous videos we've seen in Spain. I'll show you that video in a sec, where there was a passenger plane and these orbs seem to have showed up and been seen in the same proximity as the plane, and then they tend to just vanish. They don't do anything to the plane. So I think in this case, this is what happened: is these orbs just showed up as this plane was making its turn into the southern Indian Ocean, and they just happened to capture these orbs as they showed up on the screen. So now I believe this video was captured in what's known as a Citrix session or a virtual desktop infrastructure setup. This is from an NRO presentation, and basically it shows how their system is set up to receive system status and control video from various streams, data streams, as well as archived signal data. So they can see this on a session, and and it's called a multi-tiered virtual desktop infrastructure. So what they're doing in the video is it's a high resolution video, and they're moving the video frame within this high resolution video. And so it appears that the plane just flew into this zone, was captured on video, and this video that we're seeing here that was published is really a screen capture of this high resolution video. This is what we believe we are seeing here. Now, some people believe it's a satellite that took the image because we have in the video we have the name of the satellite NROL 22, which is right here, and we have the coordinates. So we believe the video was being uplinked to this satellite here. There's no way this satellite could have been the satellite taking the video. We know that from its location of its orbit, but it certainly could have been the satellite that was being used as a downlink for the video that was being streamed, what I believe, from a drone, not from a satellite. And I'll get into that in a sec. So these are the coordinates, and this is the name of the satellite that was the downlink satellite, we believe. Now, as the plane was turning, I believe what we're seeing, this plane is flying at high altitudes. I believe what we're seeing is the right and left contrails. These are not smoke trails, in my opinion. If they were smoke trails and this was an IR video, very unlikely the smoke would be picked up in IR video. And also, smoke trails would dissipate much quicker than contrails. And the fact that they're contrails, what tells me they're contrails, if it's an IR video, is contrails are comprised of ice crystals. So these crystals would reflect IR radiation and would show up in an IR, infrared video like this. So I think the video is perfectly consistent with this being contrails, not smoke trails, and that would indicate that the plane was probably flying at altitudes above 26,000 feet in order for contrails to exist. So in this video, I believe the plane, the orbs, and the coordinates are real. However, before I get to that, this is the video of the plane in Spain that was being surrounded by orbs. Nothing happened to the plane, but the orbs did show up, and you can see it in this video here. This was in Madrid in 2013. Anyways, so I think the orbs are real in this video. I think the plane is real. I think the orbs are real, and I think the coordinates in the video are real. However, I think this video had CGI to it. Now here's a slow-mo video I did as the plane is about to go through the portal, and that shows the orbs. And I zoomed in as close as possible. And what I was trying to do here in this video was to see if there was any signs of masking after the plane disappeared. So I'll play it now. And I did not see any signs of masking after the plane disappeared in this video. No signs of masking, which is tells me there's something off here. If this was a real video, as I suspect it was with the FLIR video, and it's showing us the same event as in the FLIR video, and what they wanted to do was add a porthole in this video, I would have expected in these successive frames to have seen some evidence of masking, and I don't see it in this video, which tells me there's something off here. So, if the video is real, if this video is real, but somehow they managed to change the clouds, the background, and that the background, the clouds in this video are not real. Now, let's look at this possibility. Here's an image that was taken by a fellow named Jonas in 2012, and he sold this image to a company called CGI Textures in 2012. And this image was sold to them, but it never appeared online until 2016. So who had access to this image before 2016 is a bit of a mystery right now. But anyways, the image did exist, and the photographer Jonas, I believe, is telling us the truth, took this image and sold it to this company, CGI Textures, which is now called textures.com. And so anyways, this image, I believe, was used in this UAP satellite video. And they took, here's Jonas's image is inverted, and with a comparison of the clouds that were in the UAP video. And you can see we're essentially talking they're the same clouds. They're virtually a perfect match. So what I believe they did in this video, and also one more thing here is there's missing clouds in this area. So I think they went into another image of Jonas's, took out some clouds and put it into this area, and that makes up the whole clouds in the video. So the clouds in this video are fake. It's just the stock footage. Now, why did they do that? Why did they change the clouds in the video? Now, here is the image set containing these images that were made by Jonas, and they appeared first in the Textures online catalog in 2016. Prior to that, there's no record of them existing online. There are records of other Jonas's pictures existing online, but not this particular image set. So that has raised some interesting questions there, but it's just speculation. We don't know who else would have had access to that image prior to 2016. So it's a bit of a mystery right now. And anyways, what I do think the video does show us correctly is that this plane was making its turn around this area here where the video coordinates are, and it was heading south as the Inmarsat data predicts. So I believe this is the plane coming from flying towards the northwest, then banking left, descending, going south into the southern Indian Ocean, just as the Inmarsat data predicts. However, the clouds in this video, as well as the porthole, were added to the actual video itself. And the reason they did this, I want to explain this as best I can, was to avoid video masking. In this particular video here, there's actually the left and right video. So if you were to try to mask out the plane in this video, you would have to, first off, you would have to do it twice, both for the left and right video. Plus, you would have multiple frames more to do masking if you had used the original clouds that were in the video. So in order to eliminate the need to do masking, and they had to add in this fake porthole. They added in the fake porthole, and then by having a static background, all they have to do is cut to a static shot of the clouds. They don't have to do any masking. They just cut to a static shot of the clouds that the plane is flying over, and there's no need to do any masking after the porthole because they just continue with the same shot and they delete the plane out of the video at this point and out of all frames, but there's no need to do masking because they're just showing you a false background. I believe in the real video, the clouds would be moving slowly, and it would. I believe it was being taken from a drone. Uh, uh, so in this video, I believe the plane is real, the orbs are real, but the clouds it's a false background. They use the false background, and that's why it appears as a satellite image, but it's not. It's they're just using a false background. But I believe the plane, the orbs, are real and are of the same event that was taken uh, in the clear video. So we're looking at the same event from a different angle, taken from a different drone. But the video, this video we're seeing, the background was edited, and they used this fake background. Now, once they take the plane out of the video, all they got to do is show this static background from the stock image of the clouds, and there's no need to do any masking in both the left and right video. So I think in this video, not only did they have to add the portal, but they had to change the background in order to avoid doing a lot of masking in the video. Now, that's my impression. If you don't agree, well, that's okay. But I think that's what's going on here. They actually did more editing in this video than they did in the clear video. And it was just to reduce, create the illusion that the plane, this plane, vanished into a porthole, and they left enough of a tantalizing clue by leaving us the coordinates in the satellite name. They left us just enough of a tantalizing clue to make us think it could be MH370 that went into a porthole, and that's why it vanished. But we all know the porthole is fake. Now, it should be clear to people that that porthole is fake, and that this video was edited with CGI, and that the background seems to be fake in this video. However, I still believe the plane and the orbs and the coordinates in this video are based on the actual a real event, are real, and they were also captured in that clear video. So I believe we're looking at two real videos that were edited with CGI, and this one got edited more than the other one. So once you go through all this and you come to, you see that you realize the clouds are false, so and the portal is fake. So you ask yourself, well, where does this fit in? If it's real, where does it fit into the MH370 puzzle? And the answer is it fits in right here. If this video is real, or if any part of this video is real, then that's something. That tells us two things. It tells us where the plane turned in the Andaman Sea on March 7th, and it tells us the CIA and U.S. Department of Defense knows a hell of a lot more about what happened to this plane than they have stated so publicly. That should be very clear to everyone. So this is where I believe if the videos are real, but they were edited with CGI, and they tell us two important facts, and this was a cover-up. I believe the video is showing us a B-77 decoy that was not on fire. It was not suffering from any emergency, this plane. It flew up from the Straits of Malacca like this, did its turn in the Andaman Sea. It was flying at high altitudes, above 26,000 feet altitude. To be specific, I believe it was 29,500 feet when it came off radar, and it started to descend to low altitude, passing the drone, which I believe has a ceiling limit of 29,000 feet. That would be gray NQ-1C Gray Eagle Predator. 20 would have been flying at around 29,000 feet when this plane passed by it and descended in altitude by it as it flew out towards the southern Indian Ocean, passing Cape T a few minutes later after the video was filmed, on its way out to the southern Indian Ocean, transmitting this authentic but misleading Inmarsat data. This is why I knew right from the beginning that if this video was real, that portal has to be fake, because there's no way this data is wrong. So once you understand that, and once you realize that the portal is fake in the video, but the videos are real, they are real leaked footage. And why did someone do that? What is it? Is this just a single person doing this, or is this an organization that's making this video? We don't know. I tend to think that this is part of a CIA PSYOPs campaign to continuously mislead the public about what really happened to MH370. They would love us to believe the first officer hijacked this plane. They would love us to believe the pilot hijacked this plane. They would love us to believe the Russians did it. Terrorists, aliens, anyone else but them. Or make us believe in some unbelievable theory that they can easily disprove and say, hey, we don't have that technology. It's a hoax. Maybe that's the reason why they added the portal, is so that they could give it easy deniability and be able to disprove it, so that if ever we got close to the truth, they can always say, hey, it's just a hoax. You guys are delusional. But why would they leak it in the first place? To me, it's because the orbs are real. And maybe they wanted us to see that part of the video, but because it was a classified video, they also had to cover their ass. And they're very good at doing that. So maybe that's why this video was created in the first place. It's just speculation at this point, as to who leaked it or why. All we know is Rezasite Anand is the publisher of the video. It does not mean that he was the guy who did the video effects. Could have been someone else. Could have been a contractor working for the CIA who were contracted to do that, make the plane disappear. I have this impression of a guy at the CIA who's watching CNN, and he sees that Don Lemon says MH370 went through a black hole. And this guy at the CIA who knows about this video probably said, hey, why don't we add a portal to that video and make it look like aliens made that plane vanish, cover our ass, make it look like someone else did it. I don't know why they did this. If in fact it was them who did it. If it was an independent leaker, and then why did he add in all the video effects afterwards? Why would he do that? Doesn't seem to make sense. And it doesn't seem to make sense to me that this is just some guy's CGI guy who created this all in his head. That doesn't make sense to me either. So that, to me, these videos do have an element of realism to them. They are real videos that were leaked. I'm very confident, and it fits in very nicely with my theory as to what happened to MH370. I think the CIA were filming this plane. This was part of a covert military operation. Everything was planned. They had eyes on this plane because it was a drone that was flying under remote control. and they wanted to have some video of it. And to their astonishment and surprise, these orbs just showed up out of nowhere and started scanning the plane and observing it. If you're looking for a deeper meaning as to why the orbs are in this video, unfortunately, I can't give you one. I think they were just curious about the plane. They just showed up, scanned it, and vanished, and did nothing to the plane, just like they did in many other videos that we've seen and has been observed throughout the world. I don't think they made that plane. The teleportation, the porthole in that video is just completely fake. So once we accept that, and we accept the possibility that the orbs are real, and I don't see why anyone in 2024 would not believe that these orbs could be real. uh, so why they showed up, it's probably purely coincidental, but I don't believe that their presence had anything to do with what happened to MH370, other than they just were there. They showed up in the video, and it would make for a very compelling piece of video to record. So I think this is what these videos are about. They're real videos. It's proof to me, or it is certainly evidence that supports my theory that the CIA and the U.S. Department of Defense were involved in covert military action to hijack MH370, and this video was part of that covert military action. And that plane is a decoy that looked identical to MH370, and they had eyes on it, and they were filming it deliberately, and these orbs just happened to show up, and they caught it on tape. And that's why that 1 minute of video exists, because of those orbs. And then some dick guy decided we'll put a porthole in there and make people think aliens made MH370 vanish, or make them believe in some unbelievable technology, advanced technology that they don't have, so they can easily debunk any accusations against them for that. So I'm starting to get that idea. This is why the video exists in the first place, probably to increase the noise and drown out the signal. The more we talk about this plane, the less we talk about MH370 and what really happened to it. So I'm of the opinion this evidence is very important, even though it's controversial, and I agree that some people are going to say it's all BS, and that's okay. Go ahead. If this is all BS, it has no effect on my theory. I still believe that plane did its turn at 1847, somewhere in the Andaman Sea, and that plane was a decoy. So whether the video is true or not, these videos are true or not, makes no difference on my theory. But if they're real, they fit in perfectly. And that's what I want to show you in this video. Anyways, I'll let you go here. Hope you have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. Good night.